Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel where the only thing scarier than Shadow Victory Bell is my hair. Now this channel has been a variety show of all sorts of weird things. We've done everything from high-level battle analysis to whatever this thing was. Yeah, so keeping in the fashion of variety show, because I want to do it all. Today I thought I'd share a little bit of insight on the way that I look at the game. Hey guys, so I'm editing right now and I realized when I pulled up the script on my computer it made a big white light that I actually did not see because I had it in front of my recorder. So yeah, that's why there's just this really odd lighting change. Sorry about that. Alright, see you later. The big question I want to ask today is GBL competitive? Quick disclaimer here, I'm not asking if GBL is fun or if reaching your ranked goals is an achievement. Yes, of course reaching your ranked goal is an achievement that you should be proud of. Throw it up on Twitter, let everyone know. I just want to address the actual depth of competition that GBL provides. Hi. Climbing back up? Oh, you're going crazy. There you go. Alright, you're gonna sit there now? Want to be in the video? Right off the bat, you could say it is because you're battling another player in real time. Sure, if you take it at face value, then yeah, go ahead. But a lot of what goes on in GBL, though, is not in your control, which lowers the skill ceiling of things that you could be doing in a PvP game. If you look at all of the top played PvP games, the most popular, the most watched, the most streamed, you'll notice that they all have extra layers of depth that add to the skill level to make the game more competitive. The one that I'm most familiar with is League of Legends, so I'm going to use that as an example, as team building is a huge part in that game as well as it is in Pokemon. In fact, it's probably the biggest thing in Pokemon. Oh, you're going to leave now? So if we're looking at team building, which is, again, probably the most important part of Pokemon, in GBL, Niantic is using this blind pick format. What this means is that you pick 3 Pokemon without any prior information on your opponent or their selection of Pokemon. This can often lead to games coming down to, do you have the right Pokemon in the right order? And if not, there's very little you can do to change that. Is this mean you're a bad player because you didn't guess the right order of Pokemon? No, of course not. It's entirely up to chance there. Did you have anything you could have done to win that game? Maybe, in hindsight, but at the time, what you did was probably fine, but the Pokemon that you have just didn't have good matchups or didn't line up well against your opponent's Pokemon. This often ends up being what we call an RPS game. You have 3 Pokemon, your opponent has 3 Pokemon, neither one of you know what 3 your opponent are going to bring, and if your opponent's 3 and the order they have beat your 3, then boom, game's over. There's nothing you can do about it. In these other popular games, such as League of Legends, it is almost always played in the draft format, meaning that you get to see what your opponents are picking, they get to see what you're picking, you can ban out certain things you don't want to see. Like imagine if you could ban out Galarian Stunfisk against your opponent in Great League. For example, I don't think that there's really any way that a Swampert is going to be able to take down a Shadow Victory Bell no matter what the energy or shield advantage is. Maybe if you have the right IVs, you could one-shot it with Earthquake, but like, I'm not going to look that up on PvPoke, don't quote me on that. Point being, there's pretty much no world where that happens. So in order to try and avoid this, you run into things like you just have to play the best generalist Pokemon, which end up being Azumarill, Altaria, Galarian Stunfisk, Registeel, things like that. That ends up forming a meta. The meta forms around those, and all of a sudden the game is right back to rock, paper, scissors, and it just drastically lowers the skill ceiling, and there's not really a whole lot that, you could do about that. You could be one of the top players on the leaderboards consistently every season, and you just don't have the right lineup, and you end up going against someone who happens to have a perfect lineup against you. Maybe the person you're playing against only plays like 1 set a week, and that player could win. Does that mean you're a bad player because you lost to someone who plays 5 games a week? No, not at all. There was nothing you could do about it. Now, the biggest thing that, this isn't just GBL, this is just the state of the game in general, the biggest thing that it lacks as a real-time PvP game is movement. You can't really move in this game. What you can do is switch your Pokemon out, but you can't, move. You don't get to move around the map. There is no map. It's just a screen. You just tap. Without movement in the game, the entire thing revolves around, do your 3 line up well against their 3? And in a blind pick, there is no way of you being able to try and enhance your chances by picking a certain lineup to counter your opponent. Stop it. Hi, you coming back up? No? Okay. So the first issue we have with GBL is blind pick format. Too many things out of your control, it becomes a game of chance, and that just lowers the skill ceiling drastically. The second issue that we have with GBL is accessibility and, well, self-sustainability. That one. Imagine if in GBL, every week there was a new set of 10 Pokemon, fully unlocked and double moved, that everybody would have a chance to be able to use. I think something like that exists in the main series games. I know there are rental teams you can use. Imagine if you could do that in GBL. In that case, everybody could play. For those of us who can't afford Master League, I know I don't have the Stardust or the resources to afford Master League. You could just go ahead and use a rental team and continue playing GBL. Hey guys, I'm back. So for this part, I got a little bit sidetracked and started talking about some things that I do think are important, but I want to save for other videos later. So I'm just going to quickly sum up what I wanted to say for this section here. Essentially, to rank up in GBL and be competitive in the scene, you have to be able to play almost all your sets every single day. And if you can't afford the resource investment, once the league switches over to Ultra or especially Master League, then you might not be able to accomplish that. This forces you to spend more time doing other aspects of the game that are entirely unrelated to your skill as a PvP player. And you also just might not have time in your day to go do raids and gym battles and catch as many Pokemon as you can so that you can get the Stardust to power up your Pokemon for Ultra and Master League. And that has literally nothing to do with your ability in PvP. And in my opinion, this is just another barrier between GBL and having an actually competitive PvP system. Alright, back to the video. And so while it's not pay to win, it is grind to win, but it's not grind PvP to win to get better at PvP. It's grind the rest of the game that has nothing to do with PvP in order to be better at PvP? And that doesn't make sense. If you're playing a PvP game and you want to be better at the PvP game, you should have to play PvP to get better at PvP. What GBL does have that makes it competitive is it is a matchmaking system. You play other players in real time. It's not like some of these other crappy mobile games where you're battling another player's like champions or Pokemon, but you're not actually battling them. In this one, you're battling them in real time. It's happening right there, right now. So good, we have that. There is a rank system in GBL. I didn't even touch on that today, but that thing is flawed as heck. But for the sake of today's video, we're going to say that it has a ranking system, so competitive. So two aspects that make it competitive so far. Now on the downside, things that make it not very competitive is that it is not accessible to everyone. You can't just play GBL and be good at GBL and actually rank up. You have to do so many things that are unrelated to PvP in order to actually succeed in GBL. That makes it not a competitive game. Or, well, that makes it not a competitive PvP system. You can argue, of course, that Pokemon Go has all these other aspects of the game and you should be good at all of the other aspects. We're not talking about the whole game as a whole. We're talking about PvP and GBL. And lastly, of course, the blind pick format. Blind pick, I might be wrong, but I don't think there are any esports out there where the team compositions matter so much and you are having to blind pick. I don't think that's a thing. In GBL, you just pick 3 Pokemon and you hope for the best. And you tap your screen. Not competitive. Overall, I'm going to say that GBL is lacking in depth to make it truly a competitive PvP system. It does have a few things going for it. It's fun, sure. You get to battle other players in real time, but it's not accessible to everybody. You have to play so much outside of PvP itself in order to be good at PvP. Raiding and grinding outside of GBL has nothing to do with the actual skills and mechanics of playing GBL. So, in my opinion, and you can let me know down in the comments what you think of GBL, in my opinion, it's fun. It provides a matchmaking system, something to do but it is not a competitive PvP system. It just lacks depth. It is simply reliant on too many things that are either unrelated to it or out of your control. And so for that reason, GBO gets a no competitiveness. Thank you all for sticking around during this new kind of video I've got going on here. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and let me know down in the comments what you guys think of GBL. I didn't even touch on the Sylph Arena, so maybe that's something else I'll do next time. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you next time.